So today I'm going to show you how to use your STEM assessment document from Google Sheets. So I like to use it in two ways. You can use it per assessment task. So there's a section just up here where you can enter the assessment that you are creating, or perhaps the project. So in this case, this is a grade 5 science assessment document. So in this case, we're going to be looking at animal adaptations, and the project is going to be where students design a new animal that can survive in two different habitats. So I'll call it animal adaptations and survival. And then you can add a description here of the actual project and the unit that you're going to be assessing. So you can add your description here and which class is it. So we could call it Class B. And I like to highlight which areas of the science curriculum I'll be addressing in this actual project. And then that way I know that when the children have achieved that. I don't expect that they're going to be trying to achieve all the parts of the curriculum in one project. That's just going to be impossible. So I'll highlight the areas using any particular color. It doesn't really matter. So we're going to be doing, I'll just scroll in a little bit so you can see that a bit better. We'll be looking at living things, that living things have structural features and adaptations that help them to survive in the environment. We won't be looking at chemical or earth and space or physical sciences. Nature and development of science. Science involves testing predictions by gathering data. I'm going to click on that. We're definitely going to be looking at different data and making predictions about animals' adaptations and survival capacities, and problem solving through scientific knowledge, questioning and predicting. And then you just highlight whichever ones you think are relevant to your students or to the project that they'll be doing. In this way, you will have one of these per project. So just example data, and you'll see now that we're only going to be assessing, when I scroll out, zoom out there, we're only going to be assessing these elements. And depending on the projects, it's a lot of the time you do cover some of the same areas, especially in the science inquiry skills, and that's going to happen, but we're definitely not covering the same area in the science understanding. So for this project, animal adaptations and survival, we are going to be covering the biological sciences and these other elements here, and then the only ones that we're going to be assessing. So if you're going to use this assessment document for each individual project, or perhaps per term, then you use it this way. So if we were to have another project, we would need to create a copy of this. So I would then make a copy. Okay. Do we want the copy to be of the grade 5 STEM assessment, or do we want it just to be of the sheet? So I'm going to cancel that. I actually just want it to be a copy of the science assessment sheet. So duplicate is what we want. So we right click on the science assessment sheet and we click duplicate. Not file, make a copy, because that copies the entire document. We just want a copy of the sheet here. Clicking duplicate, and here we go, we have a copy. So for the first one, I would rename that. I would rename it to the project. So I'll call it science assessment, but I want to name it animal adaptations. So I know when I go back and have a look for the information. So if we have a new project, we can go in here, change the name, and highlight the areas that we'll be covering in the new project, and then add the assessment in there as well. So that's one way you can use the assessment document. The other way you can use it is if you are just recording all of your information here in the one document, so your science assessment. So you might have for this term, even if you use it per year, you might have covered living things, earth and space, physical, and all of these things. In this case, you should have a huge amount of evidence It's very difficult to cover all of these things in 1 year. However, we are expected to do that, so we try our best. And in this case, you should have a huge amount of evidence here to add into your planning document. And I would not have a title of the project. Instead, I might have an assessment period or a list of the assessments I did. So I might have animal adaptations design project, might have chemical science experiments, and that would mean I have to highlight this one. And I might have the Earth and Space Exploration Unit. You can add descriptions in here if you like, your class, and then you highlight the areas that you have covered throughout, and then you have your assessments here. We use these colours as your assessment key: below satisfactory, satisfactory, and above satisfactory. Obviously this document is fully editable, so you can change them to whatever colours you like, or you can type in words, whatever suits you and your planning needs. Okay, thank you.